Welcome to my bloody kitchen, you lot. Today we're tackling a staple, a foundation, the backbone of countless dishes. Rice. You heard me right, rice. Don't you dare roll your eyes. Even a Michelin star chef knows the importance of perfectly cooked rice. We're going to go through 10 tips, quick and dirty, to elevate your rice game from amateur hour to restaurant quality. Whether you're a complete donkey in the kitchen or you've got a few dishes under your belt, these tips will ensure your rice is cooked to perfection every single time. Right, first things first, get that colander out, the one you probably use to drain your pasta. It's a kitchen essential, and today it's going to be your best friend. Now grab that bag of rice and dump it into the colander. Don't be shy, get a good amount in there. Next, crank the cold water up and start rinsing that rice like your life depends on it. You see all that cloudy water? That's the starch, the enemy of fluffy rice. We're washing that rubbish down the drain. Keep rinsing until the water runs clear. This little step, it's crucial, so don't even think about skipping it. It's the difference between perfect separated grains and a sticky, gloopy mess. You want to be able to taste the individual grains, not have them clumped together in a sad, mushy heap. So rinse, bloody rinse until you see crystal clear water. But why is this step so important, you ask? Well, rice is naturally coated with starch, and when you cook it without rinsing, that starch turns into a gluey substance that makes the grains stick together. This is fine if you're making something like risotto, where you want that creamy texture. But for most dishes, especially those where you want distinct, fluffy grains, rinsing is non-negotiable. Imagine you're making a beautiful stir-fry. You've got your veggies perfectly cooked, your sauce is on point, and then you add your rice, only to find it's a sticky, clumpy disaster. All that effort, ruined by a simple oversight. Rinsing the rice ensures that each grain remains separate, giving you that perfect texture that complements your dish rather than detracting from it. And it's not just about texture. Rinsing rice can also improve its flavor. By removing the excess starch, you're allowing the natural taste of the rice to shine through. It's a small step that makes a big difference, elevating your meal from good to great. So next time you're preparing rice, remember this: a few extra minutes spent rinsing can save you from a world of culinary disappointment. It's a simple act, but it shows you care about the details, and in cooking, details matter. So rinse, and rinse again until that water is as clear as a mountain stream. Your taste buds will thank you. Now listen up, because this is where most of you lot go wrong. Cooking rice might seem simple, but it's an art and a science. The key to perfect rice lies in the water to rice ratio. Get this wrong and you're headed straight for disaster. Imagine serving a mushy, sticky mess or a dry, undercooked disaster to your guests. Not a pretty sight, right? The water to rice ratio. This is the foundation of good rice. For standard long grain rice, which I'm guessing is what most of you are using, the magic ratio is 1.5 cups of water for every cup of rice. That's 1.5 to 1, got it? This ratio ensures that the rice absorbs just the right amount of water, cooking evenly and perfectly. Now let's break it down. When you measure your rice, make sure you're using a proper measuring cup. Precision is key here. Pour your rice into the cup, level it off, and then pour it into your pot. Next, measure 1.5 cups of water for every cup of rice. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a rule. Follow it, and you'll be rewarded with fluffy, perfectly cooked rice every time. That's 1.5 to 1, got it? This ratio is your golden ticket to rice perfection. But wait, there's more. The type of rice you use can also affect the ratio. For example, short grain rice might need a bit more water, while brown rice requires even more due to its outer bran layer. Now I know some of you fancy pants out there might be using different types of rice like basmati or jasmine. Each rice has its own personality, so check the bloody package instructions. Basmati, for instance, often needs a bit less water, while jasmine might need a tad more. The package will usually give you the best ratio for that specific type of rice. Each rice has its own personality, so check the bloody package instructions. Don't just wing it and hope for the best. Trust the experts who have tested these ratios time and time again. But for today, we're sticking with the basics. 1.5 to 1. This is your starting point, your foundation. Master this, and you can start experimenting with other types of rice and their specific ratios. But for today, we're sticking with the basics, 1.5 to 1. Get that ratio right and you're already halfway to rice nirvana. Imagine serving a bowl of fluffy, perfectly cooked rice that complements any dish. It's not just about the rice, it's about the entire meal experience. So take this seriously, measure accurately, and enjoy the rewards of your effort. Get that ratio right and you're already halfway to rice nirvana. Perfect rice is the foundation of countless dishes, from stir-fries to curries to sushi. Master this, and you'll elevate your cooking game to a whole new level. So, go on, give it a try and watch as your rice cooking skills transform. Happy cooking! I know you're hungry, you want that rice cooked yesterday, but trust me on this one, a little patience goes a long way. Once you've rinsed your rice and added the correct amount of water, give it a good stir and then leave it alone. That's right, let it soak for about 30 minutes. This little trick, it's like a spa day for your rice. It allows the grains to plump up, absorb some of that water, and cook more evenly. You'll thank me later when you taste the difference. Now we're going to add some flavor to this party. A pinch of salt, just a pinch mind you, is all it takes to wake up the natural flavors of the rice. Don't go chucking in handfuls. We're not making a salt lick for crying out loud, just a delicate touch, a whisper of seasoning to enhance what's already there. Remember, we're aiming for subtle elegance, not a punch in the face with a salt shaker. Water is fine, it does the job, but if you want to take your rice game to the next level, listen up. Instead of plain old water, we're going to use broth. That's right, broth. Chicken, beef, vegetable, whatever tickles your fancy. This one simple swap adds a depth of flavor that will make your taste buds sing. Don't worry, you're still using the same ratio as before, just substitute the water with your chosen broth. Trust me, your taste buds will thank you for it. Now, nobody likes a sticky mess, especially not in their rice. To prevent your perfectly cooked grains from turning into a clumpy disaster, we're going to add a touch of fat. A teaspoon of oil, a small pat of butter, whatever you have on hand will do the trick. Just swirl it around the pot before you add the rice and water. This will create a barrier between the grains and the pot, preventing them from sticking and ensuring your rice cooks up beautifully separated. Alright you lot, pay attention. Today, we're diving into the art of cooking rice to perfection. It's a simple process, but it requires patience and precision. This is where it all comes together. The secret to perfectly cooked rice lies in the technique. It's not just about the ingredients, it's about how you treat them. We're going to cook this rice low and slow. This method ensures that each grain absorbs the right amount of water, resulting in fluffy, tender rice. That means bringing it to a boil over medium heat. You want to see those bubbles, but not too aggressively. A gentle boil is what we're aiming for, then immediately turning the heat down to the lowest setting. This step is crucial. It allows the rice to cook evenly without burning or sticking to the pot. Now put a lid on it. The lid traps the steam inside, which is essential for cooking the rice properly. And don't even think about lifting it for at least 15 minutes. This is the time when the magic happens. The steam is doing all the work. I know it's tempting to peek, but resist the urge. Every time you lift that lid, you're disrupting the cooking process. Trust me, every time you lift that lid, you're letting out precious steam. This steam is what cooks the rice evenly and thoroughly. You're letting out precious steam and messing with the cooking time. Low and slow, remember? This is the mantra for perfect rice. And messing with the cooking time. Low and slow, remember? This method ensures that the rice cooks evenly and absorbs all the flavors. That's the key to perfectly cooked rice. When you finally lift that lid, you'll be greeted with fluffy, tender rice that's cooked to perfection. Enjoy. Once the timer goes off, resist the urge to immediately fluff that rice. We're almost there, but patience is a virtue, my friends. Let the rice sit undisturbed for another 10 minutes, with the lid on, of course. This allows the steam to work its magic, finishing the cooking process and making the rice even more tender and fluffy. Think of it as a little nap for your rice, a chance to relax and become its best self. Alright, you've waited patiently, and now it's time to reap the rewards. Grab a fork and gently fluff up that rice. Don't go at it with a spoon like you're digging a hole. Be gentle. Use a light hand and fluff the rice to separate the grains and release any trapped steam. This will give you perfectly cooked, light and airy rice every single time. Now, here's where you can really let your culinary creativity shine. Basic white rice is a blank canvas, just begging for some flavor. Add some sautéed garlic and onions for a savory kick, or toss in some fresh herbs like parsley or cilantro for a touch of freshness. Feeling adventurous? Try adding some spices like cumin, turmeric, or even a pinch of saffron for a touch of luxury. The possibilities are endless. And there you have it, you lot. 10 tips to transform your rice game from drab to fab. No more sticky messes, no more undercooked disasters, just perfect, fluffy, flavorful rice every single time. Now go forth and conquer that rice, and don't forget to share your culinary triumphs in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any more of my game-changing cooking tips. Until next time, keep it cooking.